Good whatever time zone it is for you, Twitch. My name is organMike, and I am your host here for Doom 64, the 2020 version. I am here representing I'm here hosting for Speedrun Ragnarok 2020, being hosted by the RPG Valkyries. It is a benefit for Take This. Take This reaches out to gaming companies to help them promote better and healthier, more productive work environments and to ensure they have methods in place for helping employees who suffer from mental illness. It is a worthwhile cause. We are hoping to hear from you and hear for your donations. And playing Doom 64 for you, here is ZELLLOO.
Hey everyone, I'm ZELLLOO, or ZELLLOO, however you want to say it, doesn't matter to me. This is going to be Doom 64, the 2020 re-release. This game just got re-released over PC and all modern consoles just last year. It's a fantastic port of the original game. And I'm joined by WinDEU for commentary, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm WinDEU, he, him pronouns. I started running this category, Watch Me Die Next, last year. Just started routing it out. That was my 2020 project, basically. And recently ZELLLOO picked it up, and he really took it far, I want to say. So you guys are going to be in for a treat. Should I explain the category before we start? Or?
No, we'll get into that as we go. But this is actually the first time this category is actually being shown in a marathon, so this is going to be a real treat for me. So the categories, so we're going to be playing on Watch Me Die difficulty, max, which is going to be 100% kills and secrets on every level except for just one weird exception on the first level. But we'll get into that as we go. But I think we are ready to go, so we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Alright, so this is the remake of Doom 64. 2020 got released last year, and this category is Watch Me Die Max. It is very similar to the PC Dooms, which is UV Max categories, which stands for Relative Violence there. Basically means 100% kills, 100% secrets. So everything, we need to kill everything, we need to get every secret in every level, and we're just going to confirm that once we hit the results screen at the end of each level. With the exception, I think ZELLLOO mentioned this level, the first level, because we're going to take, I guess what's called a super secret exit into a level called Hectic. We'll get into that as we get there. But yeah, taking that exit, it does not show a results screen. We just kind of have to verify it going back with videos for all kills. And funnily enough, this is also the only level where you can't get 100% secrets in, so we're just getting all the exceptions out of the way right away. This is literally the only level with those exceptions, because one of the secrets is like an out-of-bounds sector. That was really good picking luck, by the way.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, we picked up a Berserk at the very beginning of the level, which increases my damage on the punch by 10 times 10. But it's very random. But you can see, not only do I need to kill all the enemies, we also need to destroy all of the barrels, because destroying all 10 barrels opens this secret exit right here. And it is the only way to get to the super secret exit.
Yep, so you're going to see the screen bleed here. Normally that would go into the results, but we get intermission text since this is like a super secret exit. This is actually how you unlock the features menu. And normally to do that, you have to get all 3 keys. We do that for the IL level as far as max is concerned, but for full game runs, we only have to do all kills and all secrets. We don't have to necessarily take the secret exit, which unlocks the features menu. We decided on that because I think for at least the re-release, once you unlock the features menu, it's just there for good.
So there's 100% kills and 100% secrets for that level, so you're going to see that on every level coming up. And if a level has no official secrets, like Hectic does, you'll still get the 100% completion.
Yeah, it's just auto 100% for secrets.
You want to talk about key bumping real quick?
Yeah, key bumping. This is actually something that stems back to the OG console days. So basically, the gist of it is you line yourself up with a very specific angle, usually just some kind of diagonal angle. Nice. And normally where you just like, you know, bash your face against the ledge, you're not going to be able to get it normally. But using just a combination of your strafe movement and your forward movement, that gives you a little boost in speed called strafe running. And if we do it at the correct angle and correct positioning, we can actually get into the ledge and do what's called a key bump, which is like we basically just snap something off the top shelf of a grocery store. It's not like the best way.
Wow, that hurt a lot. Yeah, since playing on Watch Me Die difficulty, rockets to the face really hurt, so I need to play this a little more safe. Thankfully, the Soul Sphere was right there to refill.
Yeah. This is actually pretty much the only break we'll get in the first like 2/3 of the game, so I think if you have any donations, that'll be a good time for like 1 or 2.
I don't have any donations, but I could point out that we are less than $500 away from 3,000. So if you want to be the person to get that $3,000, you really don't have to donate even $500 to get there.
That's good stuff.
I do want to plug, there is an incentive for this, at the end of this run, I will show a special glitch warp ending after this run is done if that is met, so if you want to see that, definitely get your donations in.
That's a good point.
So I think other than that, there's not too much to talk about in the early game, like especially with this level, I suppose. The only real thing, I guess, is while we were waiting, there was like some kind of script going on where you hit a switch, the door automatically shut, and you saw some pistons outside smashing down the floor to get to the next part of the level. We're going to see some pretty, I guess, eccentric scripting as far as just overall Doom is concerned, and it was really something for its time. I think the game came out in like 97 or something.
96,
the original.
yeah.
Yeah, 96. And it did a lot of different stuff. It's good, 100.
Yeah, 100. So you're going to see like this room right here, there's like almost nothing actually going on. That's going to change, and that's a really neat part about the level design of this game is you get to see a lot of dynamic level changing.
Yeah, for sure.
ZELLLOO, I should mention that donation incentive has been met.
Oh, it has been. Oh, very
Nice.
excellent. So this is the first level where we start needing to destroy enemies in order to make different triggers happen, like different scripts to appear. So we need to kill a certain amount of cacodemons and all of these lost souls in the middle, plus some imps. So that's a pretty recurring theme of this run, where you have to kill certain enemies or make certain things happen in order to progress to the level different like level design features. So we're gonna hopefully get on this elevator in time. I still need to get rid of all these cacodemons. I need to make sure there's no one around. They like to wander around the room a lot. So we're just gonna take one extra pass. See if there's one hiding right here. Okay, that should be everybody.
So I guess speaking of like monster kill triggers, yeah, there's a lot of it in Doom 64. Whereas like in the original PC Dooms, there were just like a handful for like I guess the boss ends with the Cyber Demon, Spider Mastermind, Level End, and so on with Dead Simple, with the Mancubus and Arachnotrons. But I think now would be a good time to talk about spawn blocking in that case.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Okay, so in the previous room with the yellow key, just on the second floor, the ledge there, to open up the yellow key area, and which in turn spawns, I believe, 2 cacodemons and 6 lost souls on Watch Me Die. And it's interesting how monster spawning works specifically in Doom 64. That's good, Max. So like, it's not a monster closet that the PC Doom games
I have
use.
to cut you off for just a second, sorry.
Yes,
But, flashing warning, sorry.
Thank you.
Please look away for just a bit. If you're sensitive. It won't be very long. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. I'm glad you reminded me.
Yeah, but we're out of there, so you can look back at the screen if you are a little more light prone. Anyway, sorry to cut you off. Continue.
Okay. As far as so yeah, monster spawn blocking. So Yeah, the way it works in PC Doom is like you have monster closets where I think it's called monster closets
There it is.
with teleporters that get them in from way out of bounds with the map, like some isolated them. In Sim 64, they straight up don't exist until you cross that trigger for like pretty much 99% of instances. And if you are in the spot where the monster would spawn, it tries to spawn it, and it fails, and it actually doesn't count towards kill count for 100% kills, which is very critical, and you're going to be seeing that used a lot. It's I would say it's come up with some really interesting strategies. Like I really thought that that's how it all works.
Yeah. So I had to activate some switches to make the secret exit appear. This game has a lot of cryptic puzzles, so we had to do the switches in a very specific order.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the pillars would not move to the right location. So now we're going to go to the secret exit. We're going to just launch these rockets here. Going to hopefully not get pushed off by these fireballs. They like to do that. That should be good. I am saving at the end of every level, so in case I don't get 100% kills, I can go back and quickly get that, but we're good.
Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, let's talk about these secret levels. Hectic aside, which was the first one that we went to after staging the first level, there's 3, I guess, main secret levels, each containing what we call a demon key. That's different, completely different from like the key cards that we pick up scattered throughout the levels. And this is going to be used for not only the final area, or the final level rather, but also for a weapon that we're actually going to be picking up in this level that is unique to Doom 64 called the Unmaker.
Yeah, so the demon artifacts that you pick up from the secret levels actually do show up at the auto map, so we do actually require them for 100%, because you do actually lose them if you die and restart.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty complicated puzzle maze to get to that. We're going to spawn the Unmaker right here. I'm going to grab it. So it's not very good right now. With no demon artifacts, it's very weak, but it'll get more powerful as we progress through the game. So we're going to just make our way through this set of scripts, and so we can grab the demon key. The demon keys aren't just like out in the open, they're actually secrets within the secret level. So you actually have to do a bit of work to actually get them.
Mm-hmm.
So just one last switch hit right here, we'll fall down. And here's the first one right here.
And I guess, real quick, if there's nothing else to say about this level, the way this maze in particular works is there's 3 different ledges you can fall off of, and that actually determines like which ledge you fall off of determines where the yellow key and the corresponding imp with it will spawn. So we want to fall off the right ledge, which will make the yellow key spawn on the left.
Okay, so most of this level's done. We will get to see one use of the Unmaker when we spawn the Cacodemon and the Pain Elementals, because it's a pretty dangerous room otherwise.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the rest of this level is pretty simple. Oddly enough, there is a switch with a secret to the right, but we can't open that until those enemies are actually dead. I'm not sure why it's scripted that way. Like, level design in this game is cool, but it has little oddities like those.
Yeah. And you may have noticed the Berserk we just ignored. You don't even want to pick that up if you're like below on the earth, because what that does is similar to what the rock launcher does when you're going the other way towards the demon key and the rest of the level. It spawns 4 Mancubus, which are 4 cages, and it also spawns Lost Souls in this instance. Just not worth it to do at all.
Yeah, so if you see me skip an important power-up like that, it's probably because it makes more monsters appear that we don't want to have to fight. Because as long as they don't spawn, then they're never counted in the max, so we can get our 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Tech Center's a little scary right here. There's a lot of close quarters combat that happens in this. Like, pretty much the whole game, but especially this level. I'm gonna hopefully fire some rockets. He's not coming over. Where did that Hell Knight go? He's on vacation.
Alright, see ya.
Later. Where are you? Where are you? He went all the way back over here. I've never seen him do that before.
Oh, okay, that's what it is, yeah. Yeah, monster pathing is interesting in this game sometimes. Like, especially with all the, like, little geometry quirks, like the corner pillars sticking out, they can go interesting ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of randomness in Doom games in general, but especially this one. Monster movement is random, monster damage is random, your damage is random, sometimes your accuracy is a little random, like with this super shotgun, how the pellets spread. So a lot of this game in general is just knowing what the maximum range of everything can do, and then adapting around it on the fly. And that's what makes this a really cool speedrun, no matter which category you play.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, in general, especially for like the super shotgun and rocket launcher, they're generally the same damage output per shot, I want to say. So especially with like helmets and barons, they're going to be 3 and 5 hits respectively with either the super shotgun or the rocket launcher. But there are some cases where that's like helmets can either take 2 or 4 rockets. Sometimes it's very, very rare.
That one took 4 SSG shots. I got a bad roll on that.
Yeah.
Alright, so thankfully there's not too much in the way of secrets in this level. There's just 1 mega armor that we have to pick up. We'll get it on the way back after this lost soul room right here. So I need to count. There are 7 lost souls in this room. They like to charge. Lost souls in this game are incredibly aggressive.
Oh yeah.
So we try and use the boxes as such for cover. Okay, it's gone.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing I could talk about real quick with Doom 64, compared to the original PC games. It's, I mean, at its core, it's the same game. Oh, did you want to say something?
Here's the worst key in the game.
Oh,
Everybody hates this key.
Yep. Just down on a lower ledge. Okay, yes. That's fine. Quite safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's actually really subtle differences between the PC original Dooms and Doom 64. Like, I think the SSG loads a little bit faster, reloads rather, a little bit faster. The chain gun is faster, Lost Souls behave differently. They have, I think, half health compared to the PC, but they're so much more aggressive.
Yeah, they are. They're pain. Alright, I'm running a little low on shotgun ammo. Like, ammo routing, especially in the early game, is really tight. So,
Yeah.
thankfully I've got a few extra rockets, so this should hopefully be okay.
Yeah, actually, speaking of just ammo in general, let me see. Yeah. So I'm just always like on the edge of my seat watching that results screen.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Even I am, because I'm just like, I hope I didn't forget something.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to get that swag shot off. There we go. Good enough.
I'm trying to remember what I was talking about before.
You were talking about
ammo.
monster differences.
Yeah, and well, also I think ammo route. So ammo's kept track of, especially in this category for max, because you need to kill everything. Well, at least everything that spawns, which is most things. The most important things I want to say we keep track of are rockets are like the top priority.
Yeah, we're stockpiling a bunch, especially for one level when we get into the hell levels. We're on the moon base levels right now.
Yeah. So rockets, instant damage in a pinch, always good to have. Good supply of them. The shells, as Zilla said, with the and the tech center, the previous level. A little less low of a priority, but still like your main damage output, I'm gonna say. And cells, which is kind of at a premium just overall in the game. There are a few levels where you get a ton of them, but other than that, yeah, we want to be very mindful of just the ammo in general and how we use everything.
They grouped up really nicely there.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime we can get like the rocket splash damage to hit multiple enemies, we try and do that. Just to make everything more efficient. this level has some really neat tricks and also some really mean rooms. You want to talk about the next secret where we're gonna do the backwards opening?
Oh yeah. So there's a door coming up in this this pit room. I guess we've nicknamed it the American Gladiator Room for reasons that'll become obvious pretty quickly. So yeah, there's a door that you normally need to do a really precise jump to a ledge to hit a switch for, but that switch is just to open the door. You normally can't open it from
There we go.
the
Got
side
it.
you're entering from. Nice. But if you
There's a lost soul behind me. Oh, that was scary.
Oh yeah. If you use the use the door, try to interact with it up from above it and behind it, you can still open the door normally, as you saw him coming back from. And that also accounts if you're just outside of the room in general and trying to interact with that door.
Got across the pillars just fine, which is good. If you
Nice.
fall in the pit, it's very bad because a bunch of specters will probably spawn, and you'll have to kill all of them and leave through a very narrow staircase. It's not fun. I have no shells. Wow.
Yeah.
That's fine. We got chain gun. Just pick up a couple secrets right here, and then we will go ahead and finish off these barons and be done. Now's a good time to talk about line def skips and the one rocket jump for the next level.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, I'll get to rocket jumping. I think just after it's done. But line def skips. What that means is that's one of the core mechanics of how just the Doom engine works. Not just 64, but PC Dooms as well. You can interact with them, as in switches. You can step over them. You can some switches you shoot. Just basically they act as walls. Walls, ceilings, and
There we go.
all that stuff. Nice. So what ZELLLOO was doing there, I don't wait for the rocket jump.
Yeah,
Nice.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah. So the first time the Lost Soul spawned, you saw that. It's actually kind of convenient to how just showing off what line def skips are exactly.
Yeah, we'll pretend that was intentional.
Yeah. So you saw there's a bunch of Lost Souls that spawn in that room, and you have to kind of take that room safe, just chain gun down. It takes a while. But there's a specific line that you cross that makes all of them spawn. And since we're not going back to that room, or crossing that specific line ever again in the level, we could just skip it once, and it'll be already. So how line def skips work is just kind of like key bumping, actually, where you line yourself up with a particular angle, a specific distance away, and you're moving at a good enough speed where your hitbox never touches the line def. It just skips right over it in just the perfect way. And that's going to be crucial for just skipping mostly monster spawns. I'm trying to remember if there's any lifts or otherwise that we skip with that.
I don't think so.
Yeah. And yeah, the main thing we do from line def skips is for monster spawns. We skip a lot of monsters doing those tricks. Oh, actually, this is a good time to talk about the disadvantages of unintentional line def skips.
Oh yeah, there are a lot.
Yeah, so this game is 3D to a point. It can't do floors above and below itself oh, nice shot. I was waiting for that shot, rocket shot. So you might have noticed that
Ow, that hurt.
ZELLLOO is fighting with Hellknights now. Basically, straight above where he was in the, I guess it's the sewers. What this game does, because it can't do multiple, height floors, if that makes sense. You can only have one floor at a time, so everything is just flattened out if you look at it from overhead. So what that means is, in order to trick the game and to provide some dynamic stuff to map making, there's line depths that you walk over completely away from where the floors are. That act as like kind of bridges, and you'll see that in later levels where you can like walk over and under. Let me see this rocket shot real quick. Nice. Yeah, if you skip those line depth journeys, you're gonna like all of a sudden turn the corner and run into a wall that should very much not be there, or in that case, the floor will be sunken in, and if you drop down there, where the two Hell Knights were at the end, that is actually a soft lock.
Yeah, thankfully that didn't happen, but you might see like some line depth skips by accident on Terror Core later.
Yeah.
This level, we did another line depth skip there to avoid a bunch of imps, so now there's a different set of imps and this hallway changes. And then we're also coming up on my favorite skip. We're gonna basically run backwards at a key to get a key bump. And it's great. I like to call this booty grab right here. So I'm just gonna line up against the wall, use my booty to grab it on the ceiling, or on that pedestal, and we're good.
Nice.
So that is booty grab. Doom Guy got the booty. If you want to run through hell at 60 miles per hour like Doom Guy, make sure you get your booty exercises in.
Oh yeah. Some really healthy glutes going on.
And if you're enjoying these exercise tips, why not donate a little money to take this to show your support for the runners?
So
The
we've got
link
one
is
more
in the
key.
chat.
Yes. So we have one more key coming up, and then we have like the hardest room in the level and one of the scariest in the entire run. If you want to explain that.
Yeah. So this is the final moon-based stage in the game, which I suppose concludes the first episode. Like not officially, because there's going to be an animation screen afterward, and I know how that block. But yeah, so you cross the line up, and there's like 4 barons that spawn on these pillars. Everything, well, I think just the Hell Knights and the barons need to die to raise the stairs to the exit. And we're getting a lot of mileage out of the Unmaker right now. It's very loud pew pew gun, but it's very, very good.
And that's just with one artifact too. We'll get 2 and 3 later, and then it'll make it even better. Going into this last level is not going to be. This next level is going to be a little iffy with only 11 health. Oh, by the way, if you fall into that pit, you die and you can't get out. So,
yeah,
just a note.
That is one of just actually very few no escape pits.
All right, so even simpler. This is the level of why we got a whole bunch of rockets, because we're going to dump them all, pretty much all right here.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully the first wave goes well. So we got 5 Incubus. Let's kill all of them. Good.
Okay.
Then the stairs raise up to the next layer outside. It's going to spawn, I think, what was it, 4 Cacodemons and 8 Hell Knights?
Yes.
Like that. Yeah, so once the Hell Knights are killed, not the Cacodemons, though we do have to kill them, the next wave after that spawns, which is, I think, 6 Makeby, 4 Pain Elementals, and like 6
can I get this block? I think I got the block there. Yeah, so this is really frantic, because these Pain Elementals will spawn Lost Souls everywhere. We need to get rid of them ASAP, and we also need to keep track of everything that's happening. So it is a frantic race to make sure we get everything before they start running away.
Yeah, the way ZELLLOOO routed this level specifically out, you have to do it in a very quick amount of time. Otherwise, things go pretty off the rails as far as like where monsters decide they want to travel. And yeah, Pain Elementals, if I could talk about those for a little bit.
That Lost Soul scared me so much.
Yeah, so Pain Elementals, they act a bit different than we do into Doom 2. They actually spawn out 2 Lost Souls at a time instead of 1. And obviously, when they die, they explode out like 3 Lost Souls, just like PC Doom. But in contrast to where you want to face tank the Pain Elemental in Doom 2 to prevent Lost Souls from spawning when it dies, You do not want to do that in Doom 64 because, for whatever reason, failed Lost Soul spawns from Pain Elementals have rocket splash damage property. So
Yeah, if you try and run up and do that to a Pain Elemental in this game, it will explode both in your face, and you are probably dead on this difficulty.
yeah, can easily do over 100 damage.
Alright, so I'm gonna get this
hoping
big
for the
armor,
holiday
thankfully. No, I didn't go for it. I didn't want to set it up. We have a skip that skips these Hell Knights, but it's very inconsistent. We haven't found a consistent way to skip them yet.
Yeah. It would skip this whole battle right here with the Hell Knights on each side of the stairs.
So we did pick up a plasma gun this level, which we will probably never use because we already have the Unmaker in this category.
Yeah, so yeah, the plasma gun I want to say is just a little bit worse than the Unmaker, even like at 1 key. It's different than, again, in PC Doom. It has no recoil after you stop firing, which is a plus, but on the downside it has a much lower firing rate. And then the Unmaker is just better once we get the plasma gun, as Elo said. But speaking of weapons, we're going to get the final one in this game, the BFG, the classic beloved BFG. I believe it just works the same as it is in the PC game.
Yes. So we have to activate a quick secret for that. We was looking at this face right there. We're gonna drag these specters over because once we grab the BFG, a bunch of Mancubi would try and spawn. But we just blocked 2 of the 3, which is pretty good using those specters. And now we have one more line def skip. This one's really finicky.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna be quiet for this one.
Nah, you go ahead and explain it. It's fine.
Yeah, just to make sure you can hear like not happen.
Yep, all good.
Okay, nice. So yeah, that line def skips that entire wave of monsters you see outside. It would spawn again once you go back to the exit. Once you like hit the switch after the 4 Hell Knights in the back there, that's basically the same wave.
Nice.
Nice. And yeah, that skips not only just that whole wave, but the wave that did spawn, that you have to spawn with the switch, is already grouped up right by the door because you're spending the whole time like getting the exit switch and the BFG and all that. It saves, yeah, line def skips like that. Not only do they save time, they save ammo as well. So it's just like it doubles up on just the advantages.
Health too, because you're not getting shot at constantly.
Yeah.
Alright, so TerraCore has some really cool tricks with like the level design, because you see these bridges, they have like the line def skips on the floor to make them into bridges, but if we skip the wrong ones, then the floor is impassable, so I'm going to move in very specific ways to make sure that doesn't happen. That imp went flying from that rocket.
If I might point out, we have over 200 viewers in chat. If every one of those viewers were to donate $5, that would be more money.
It's true.
Please donate.
Also, I mentioned in the previous run, I'm in a big, open, boomy space. If you want something read dramatically, a donation towards that would be very fun, actually.
Now's your chance, chat. Get those booty jokes in chat. And in donations.
I'm loving the request.
Alright, so a couple weird secrets to get here. We gotta hit the switch that's on this wall that I have to jump for.
Yeah.
And I missed it, actually. That's the first time I've missed it in quite a while.
Ah.
That's fine. One more try. There we go. So that opens up another passage leading to a Soul Sphere and the Hell Knight that's on the corner there, which is good. We really need like the health through most of this category since we're doing so much fighting, and since we're required to get all these secrets anyways, it's nice. Like we could technically drop down when we trigger the secret, like when we activate the secret, without actually getting the Soul Sphere, but that would save like a quarter of a second at the most
Yeah.
for like something we desperately need.
Yeah. And I think it'll just be made up for anyway, like by just letting yourself play more recklessly with that 100 health.
Alright, one more secret over here. There's got a mega armor to grab, so we're gonna be nice and healthy for the next level.
Mm-hmm. It's next level altar. Yeah.
That's altar.
You mentioned earlier your donation incentive. We do have a couple others, though yours has been met. Of course, there's lots of bid wars for character names, sidekicks, various aspects of upcoming games. But there's also a donation incentive to unlock the hard mode of Beatmania IIDX Infinitas, and one for Ultima 4 to light up the Abyss, which is one I know well since that's the game I'm running next. So
yes,
if you
please
want,
definitely make Mike work for it and get your donations in for that.
if you want to actually see what's going on in the dungeon, as opposed to having us run it in pitch black, which is how we usually do because it's faster, you may want to give us money.
Alright, Altar is a level I really like. This does have another secret exit to a secret level, so we will be taking that at the end. I really appreciate the art design in this game, because like all the sprites and the textures and everything, they were all redone from the ground up for this game, instead of just using the exact same ones from PC Doom. So you get some really cool texture work on the castle here, you get like interesting design decisions. Since we're in hell, you see like the inverted crosses on the walls. Like, I really appreciate what they did with this game to like be part of a Doom game, but make it stand out from the others.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just really pleased with how the game came out overall. I'm just like, it's its own thing for sure in many different ways.
Alright, I'm gonna take a couple laps around the castle. This is a pretty complicated level. The biggest fight in this level is the actual like self-named altar, but we do need to kind of be careful in a few spots. I do want to stay above 100 armor going to this next room.
Yes.
If you could explain the armor mechanics and why this is the armor of shame.
Yeah, so there's two different armor classes in the game. You start out with the lower one.
Whoops. I guess I'm getting the armor of shame now.
But yeah, so the green armor is like your, I guess, base armor. The armor class that you start out with, that reduces damage by, I believe, a third, and it takes 2/3 armor points off of. Basically, just spreads out the damage in that fashion. Like, takes 2/3 off your health, takes 1/3 off of the armor as far as points are concerned. The blue armor, called Mega Armor, it gives you 200 armor and it changes your armor class so that the damage is split evenly, half and half, between your armor and your health. And that makes a lot more of a difference than you would think.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to grab that green armor that was in front of that switch earlier, but because since my armor dipped below 100, I had to pick it up. So that's what we call the armor of shame.
Yeah. Plus,
It technically downgrades my armor, even though I went from 93 to 100 or whatever it was, but I'm in a worse armor class now.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much what I was gonna say, as far as like, if you have a fair amount of armor points left, like, you can pick up the armor, like, but it's usually more worth it to stick with the better armor class if you have good points for it.
What do I want to do with this? I guess this will work. Yeah, my first BFG shot was kind of bad, so happens.
This is also the second instance where you can pick up the Unmaker in the game. So, yeah, what is it, level, like the 5th level in the game, or 6th level, as opposed to like the 14th or 15th in the route. So getting that early Unmaker is very, very, very worth it. In the first 2th level.
Alright, health and armor are not looking good, so this is going to be a little scary. I can refill on a soul sphere later as long as I can get to it. just have to be a little careful. There are a few more Hell Knights to deal with, but they're generally not threatening as long as I have room to move.
Yeah. At the end of the level, right?
Yeah, right at the end.
Yeah.
So we'll just kill these Hell Knights. That'll open the bars. We'll leave the normal exit and go to the secret exit now. I really like this one because if you look on the auto map, the pillar that we jump to right here is actually shaped like an arrow, and that's your clue. It's like the one. That's the one less cryptic thing about like finding the secret exits in this game. Alright, and that takes us to the lair, which is the second main secret level, and we'll grab our second demon key here.
Yeah. So in your mission text, if we have any donations, now do you good time for like one?
Unfortunately, we don't, but I can shout out the marathon. This is Speedrun Ragnarok 2020, being done in support of the charity Take This, whose motto is support community and mental wellness, because it takes appropriate support, including healthy work and home environments, clinical support, and opportunities for self-care, as well as a supportive community to build the resilience everyone needs for mental well-being. So if you think that sounds like a cause you would like to support, by all means, donate to them. The link will be in the chat.
It was a very clean room. It's very easy to get trapped by those Hell Knights there, because I also had to kill 3 Spectres that were in the way.
Yeah, super low damage rolls on the Hell Knight fireballs too. Helped a lot.
Alright, so we got to get our second demon key here, so we're going to activate this switch that's on the wall, activate another switch on the wall. It's coming down now. Let's hope this BFG shot goes okay here. Okay, 2 of the 4 is okay. And now our Unmaker fires 2 lasers at once and is even faster. So it has far outclassed the Plasma in any useful way.
Yeah, like 0 to 1 keys for the Unmaker is already like pretty significant, but 1 to 2 is just, I think, an astronomical difference. It even mows down like Baron's Hell, which usually take like 5 rockets or 5 shotgun blasts very, very quickly.
Yeah, I'll make sure nobody got left. Okay. My health is a little low, so I will grab a backup Soul Sphere at the end.
Yeah.
Do you actually want to talk about the one secret we don't grab in this level and why we don't?
Yeah. So you may have noticed Zero interacting with the Gargoyle Statue. There's a second one we can interact with that makes a Berserk Pack spawn. But there are a couple of items in this game that are marked as secret items. I think that's also exclusive to Doom 64. Whereas in the PC Dooms you have secret sectors that are tagged and counts towards secret credit at the results. There's also like the items themselves that are tagged as secrets. And just like with kill counts and like spawn blocking and lined up skipping enemies, those don't count towards the kill count. If we never spawn the Berserk Pack, which counts as a secret item, that never counts towards the secret overall result screen. So you don't have to pick it up as long as we don't spawn.
These two end up fighting. I've never seen those two infight. Alright, so this is a very, very scary part of the game. This is 3 hard levels back-to-back, starting with Dark Citadel. It's very likely I'll die at least once. But this is my favorite strat right here. We're going to aggro this Arachnotron, have him start infighting with the Baron. The Baron's going to go towards him, but since I aggroed the Arachnotron, it's going to try and keep firing at me, and the Baron's going to get caught in the crossfire. And that is my favorite strat that I've come up with in this category.
Yeah. I think the Arachnotron has a bit of plasma gun anyway, so, you know.
Yeah, it cheats. It has 2 of them.
If we have a moment.
Yes, we absolutely do.
Fantastic. We have an anonymous $20 donation with a comment of great job on the chillest Doom game.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you, anonymous donor.
This is the chillest Doom game, but you're going to have the most frantic room coming up. This is the infamous dart room.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this room is...
You got good health and armor going into it, though. So.
Yep, so we're just going to slide in between all these darts to try not get hit. I actually didn't take much damage. I only took like 20 points. You can very much easily just get caught in a rain of fireballs and then lose about 100 or so, so we lucked out. We're actually going to activate the dart trap again to help kill these Barons, because the darts actually do pretty good damage on them too, so we can help whittle them down. which is good because I am almost out of shotgun ammo anyways. So
Yeah.
pretty good dart room overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the darts do, I think, anywhere from 8 to 32 damage. Barons have 1,000 health.
Really 1,000? Wow.
I think it's 1,000, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. If I could talk about that dart room really quick and like how that works. So that switch that ZELLLOOO pressed, it activates all those dart traps in that room, but it also spawns the blue key, but only for while those dart traps are active. The way you're, I think, meant to do it is there's an invulnerability that you may have seen, that green sphere that we jumped down and ignored just now. I think you're supposed to get that, and then like do a lap around, go up the lift again, and you know, just kind of face tank the darts as you casually stroll up and let the blue key. But we do want to save that invult for later, and because we had so good health and armor with the layer supplies, just all the soul spheres and mega armor, we were able to just like face tank the darts without invult.
Alright, library's pretty scary here. We can get around some of these Barons and Hell Knights if they're on the correct side. But it's very tricky. They have to be on the very edge, otherwise I get stuck, and I probably just get clawed to death. Also, surprise bookcase. I love that bookcase. You just grab the bullets, and it just instantly lowers, and nothing else does that in here.
That's so funny.
Okay, we're gonna slip by this one. Thank you. Thankfully that scratch did not hurt. Scratches with no armor really hurt on Hell Knights. I have gotten scratched and I can take like 10 damage, or get scratched with no armor and take like 80.
Yeah.
Like everything on Watch Me Die hits really, really hard.
Okay, doesn't want to cooperate. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We have another $10 come in from Nooster, who says, these graphics look great for a game that came out in 1964.
Well, I mean, we went from Doom 1 to Doom 2 to Doom 64. They had like an extra 61 games that they just didn't publish. So they had time to perfect it.
My headcanon is that they're all like unofficial fan-made mods in the meantime.
Alright, so this is actually the last room in the level. We're just gonna aggro everything in here, and we're gonna leave, because we still need to take care of that mob that we left behind in the big room. And they're gonna group up, because enemies like to follow you around generally. So we're going to just have them like rack up into a corner over here, and then we can BFG and rocket them out, which is much more efficient, especially since we're gonna grab this invulnerability sphere. Oh, that's a good pattern right there.
Yeah, that's what we saved for.
Yeah, that's fantastic luck for them to be here. I do need to check around the corner, make sure there's not an imp just kind of hiding there. Okay, there's nobody there. They've wrecked some 100% runs before by just, like, staying there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna tag this secret.
I was gonna say, that's why we killed all the Kekians on the first pass through that giant room behind the blue key.
Hello.
Pillars.
That did, like, no damage. Oh well.
Yeah.
It happens.
You only budget one BFG shot in that group, right?
Yeah, just one. So that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Should be okay here. Okay, yeah, 100.
Yes.
Alright, so now into I. You should explain the pinky spawns and why we do things in a very specific way.
Yeah, so this first half of the level is essentially there's like 4 Barons, 4 Arachnotrons on the ground floor, so to speak. And once we kill all the Barons, it'll lower the blue key. We want to kill the Barons last. We don't want anything alive once we're ready to get the blue key. And so there's windups around like this corner here that you obviously can't see, but when you walk over them, it spawns 8 pinkies in the opposite corner of the castle. And that's why ZELLLOOO is just being very careful not to like cross too far into the Arachnotrons, like keeping his distance away from that pillar. Because that's where the other line def is, and we're spawning more pinkies. Alright, so I think the other Baron is like in the corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do the hard strat.
Yeah.
Because there's another secret that we want to get, and I have to hold the gate open with my head. So.
Yeah.
And there's also one pinky here. Where is he?
So,
He's probably around the other corner now. He probably moved. This is okay. As long as like we know that he's somewhere.
yeah.
Where is he? There he is. Okay, so we'll just laser him out. So we have a little trick right here, actually, involving quick saving and loading. So we're going to save and reload real quick. There are a bunch of lost souls that just appeared right above me, but by saving and loading, it actually de-aggroes them, so they're going to stay there for a while. And this is good, because not only do we not have to fight them now, we can prevent another wave from spawning just because they're already locked in place when I cross the spawn point.
Yeah, I think that's like just a slight oversight as far as quick saving is concerned. Quick saving is actually exclusive to the re-release. It was never in the original, so it's pretty understandable about that. The way it works is, yeah, like ZELLLOOO said, monsters, once they spawn in, they're normally just aggro because they like heard a shot before they spawned in. What quick saving does is it essentially makes them forget as they make that like spawn transition into the level proper. So they're gonna act as if they never heard a sound and they're just gonna be deactivated.
Alright, and then we have one last very scary section right here. There are a bunch of shotgunners on that ledge over there. They can easily snipe me. Like, I have pretty decent health and armor, but I can easily go to 0 in about 2 seconds. So we're gonna take this very safe with the chain gun.
Okay. I'm so used to ending this level with like 10 health and 0 armor.
Don't worry, I do that a lot too. So we're gonna just make everything explode right there with the BFG. So that gets rid of a ton of lost souls that we would really don't want to fight.
That's like one of the most satisfying BFG shots.
So hopefully a lost soul didn't wander around the corner. They like to do that sometimes. But nope, 100, so we're good there.
Nice.
Alright, and here's the last of like the 3 really, really tough levels in the mid-game. This has a big arena. This also has one last key grab, which is a pretty funny one.
I think you skipped the teleporter for a second.
I did. So that key grab skips a long puzzle. Make sure there's nothing left in this room. And now we're gonna make our way into the arena, and it's gonna be very tight. So I'm gonna focus and let WinDEU handle this for a second.
Yeah, but that's actually also with the blue key. That's the easiest key bump to do in the entire game. You can boot it up yourself and just do it no problem if you want to. So yeah, this arena, there's a switch at the end, and there's a bunch of lost souls in the center that we want to basically just bum rush as soon as we can with the BFG. Take them out so we can just roam freely around. Otherwise, if we cross that arena at the midpoint at the far end, that's when the lost souls are really gonna give us trouble. But in the meantime, what ZELLLOO's doing right now is just running around, causing a bunch of infighting, making mostly just like the Arachnotrons, Hell Knights fight with each other, and I think you're gonna see it the most on that like top ledge there. Where there's just a whole bunch of different classes of monsters. Normally, the same class of monsters can't infight with each other, like Barons and Barons, or like Arachnotrons and Arachnotrons. So we want to do as much crossfire as we can, which not only makes things safer, actors it toward like away from you, it also saves ammo, saves time, just all the usual stuff. And actually, also speaking of infighting, something unique to Doom 64, which I think was like an oversight on the original game and is preserved here. Normally, Barons and Hell Knights can't fight with each other. You can see that in PC Dooms. I don't know if you want to talk about anything with this room real quick.
No, not right now.
Okay. But yeah, you can make Barons and Hell Knights fight. They'll do just like their standard infighting like we would with any other 2 monsters. The same goes with Imps and Nightmare Imps. Nightmare Imps being exclusive to Doom 64. It basically work the same as Spectres and, well, the official term is Demons, but everyone calls them Pinkies. Yeah, just like slightly transparent. versions of the original Minister. And in this main hallway, you might be seeing a bunch of weird fireballs, which look like Maker's fireballs, shooting out from like the tops of the hallways. That's actually a trigger that once you cross into the main hallway, the turrets start firing like 15 or 16 shots apiece.
Fun thing is on Watch Me Die, they added an extra rocket launcher in the start room, so if you try to hide in there, you get blown up from behind, which is really funny.
God, that was so funny. It got me good the first time, casually.
Alright, so we're out of all the hard levels. Those actually went pretty well. I'm happy with that. So Bloodkeep is a good time to just kind of chill as a whole. There's nothing too scary in this level.
Yeah, this is definitely a breather from the previous few levels and, well, the next two, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, do you actually want to explain how the BFG works? We haven't actually gone over that yet.
Yeah, so you may notice when ZELLLOO is using the BFG, he's doing some particular movements as far as like just how he lines up the shot and like his face hugging some of the monsters. So how the BFG works is you have the initial shot that you have to charge up for like a second, and then it fires out. The angle in which you fire it out from, that's locked in place. And that is significant for when the ball explodes into like a monster or a wall or whatever else. Once the ball explodes, after like a half second from that, there's these things, kind of works like hit scanning enemies, like bullets and stuff, called tracers. They emit like, it emits like 40 tracers, I believe, from your point, like when the ball exploded from Duke Guy, at the angle in which you fired the initial ball, if that makes sense. The ball does do a significant amount of damage. You can actually do anywhere from 100 to 800 in increments of 100. And each tracer does like 45 to 80 something. The numbers are more specific, but like there's 40 of them. So if you face hug something and you get the majority of the tracers to hit a monster, it's pretty much guaranteed to die in one shot.
Yeah, two boss monsters are. Yeah, the two boss monsters in this game are like the only ones who won't die from a full range of close range tracers. So the key here is to just if you need to vanquish demons in hell, just run up after firing your ball and give them a big fiery hug.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everyone loves things.
You think maybe that's why Doom Guy goes to hell a lot? He wants to get hugs and just feel loved.
Yeah. Now's probably a good time for donations.
Yeah, that's a good time.
I would love to read some donations, but unfortunately, I haven't got any new ones to read. Although I was thinking, I am a certified dad, and I'm sure there are lots of dad jokes that can be made with Doom. I would be quite happy to read some if they showed up in the donations.
Yeah, I'd love to hear them.
Whenever I ask Twitch for a pun...
Yeah, they're usually good on delivery.
Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of grouping right here. So... Okay, that got 2 of the 5, so... Or 2 of the 4. Yeah, like, the BFG is not only good for small enemies, it's also good for just clearing out large crowds.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna get the secret. Closed on me. I was a little slow on that. This secret is kind of a pain in the butt, just because you have to get into this bookcase and actually make the jump before the barrier closes. And then you have to actually remember to get credit for the secret, because you can accidentally line def skip it.
Yeah, oh my god, I have no idea what's up with that secret in particular. Like, during the run one time, I got to the exit, it had 0% secrets, because that's the only secret, and I was very, very confused. Just kind of take for granted that, you know, get credit for the secret, but make sure you see that yellow text.
Yep. Alright, so we'll refill on the Soul Sphere over here. I also went to a hidden room that's not an official secret, but had 20 rockets and 100 cells. This game's a little weird with that. They have things that should feel like secrets, but they're just not tagged as such, but usually they have a lot of good equipment that we can take anyway, so we'll go out of our way to get them. Especially since that was in, like, the bookcase that was right next to the switch I need to hit anyways.
Yeah. You definitely don't want this.
Oh, wow. Alright, so I'm going to do one more line def skip. We're going to line the shotgun up with a rock on the ground. This should be good. Yep, so nothing appeared out of the cages.
Nice.
And then we're actually going to do one BFG shot and clear this whole room if I time this properly. Perfect. Oh,
Nice.
no, that one actually was hiding from me. The explosions actually covered him.
Not nice.
By the way, speaking of not nice, don't accidentally lower yourself into the pit, because otherwise you can't get out and you're dead.
Yeah, I think that's the only, well, aside from Hectic, the only other no escape pit.
There's also
game.
Final Outpost.
Yeah, fine.
So this is watch your step. We are doing exactly that. If you want to explain the triggers that are on the ground, like the squares.
Yeah, so we start off in this big arena, which will be significant in like just a minute. But this square room with the like square hallways, if you see the crosses on the ground, those are actually like monster spawns. There's like I don't know, 14, 15 of them, just like on each edge of the room. It's kind of weird because like some of them reach to both edges, and some of them don't. So we can skip most of them, but not all.
I skipped the teleporter. Nice.
Your lined up skips on point today.
Maybe a little too on point.
But yeah,
so we're
the
gonna...
line. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The lined up skip we did do, which was intentional. We skipped all the imps that would have spawned on the balcony there. And in general, lined up skips is just like no news is good news. If you don't hear the spawn sound, then you're good to go.
Yep. So big arena in the second half. We're going to kill very specific enemies in every wave because we want as many enemies alive as possible to help do a bunch of spawn blocking for us. So we're going to hopefully spawn block a bunch of enemies on the last wave. Am I actually full on rockets? Apparently I am. I'm also not getting this. Okay, so both Hell Knights got blocked, which is really good luck.
Oh, is it the ones that you need to kill?
Yeah. There we go.
Or the mix and the X?
It's one of them. Yeah, it's one of them.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so now we need to clear everything else out.
Yeah. I was worried you'd block the ones that spawn the Rex and Magmite.
Nah, thankfully I saved before we did that part, so it's okay. So when we kill the Arachnotrons and the Mancubi, that's when the Cyber Demons will spawn, but anything else that I have not killed yet will disappear, and I will not get credit for it. And that's actually important, so I need to make sure everything is nice and dead before these Cyber Demons show up. And I'm running out of invincibility, that's bad. Yeah, I died. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We'll play this fight a little bit more efficiently here, because you only get like roughly 30 seconds of invincibility. You really need to make sure you're booking it to all these enemies.
Yeah.
I do have a donation that's come in.
Go ahead.
Will It Work has given us $12 and said, since you said you don't have any donations, I thought I would put something in before I go to bed. Well, I don't love Doom. How many people are interested in Doot? D-O-O-T. That was a fun meme for a while. Thanks for your efforts toward this great cause.
Thank you for Doot. Okay. Third take, hopefully. This is a really brutal part of the run, because if you run out of invincibility, Cyber Demons get ugly fast. Because they fire rockets that are just as powerful as my own rocket launcher. So a direct hit pretty much does like 288 points of damage or something. It's basically a full kill.
Yeah, I think, like 288 is the max, 168's... No, 148 is the minimum.
Oh, this is bad. I'm going to save here. We're going to bait him. We're going to bait that rocket. I've already spent enough time dealing with him. So we'll do the bait.
Yeah.
He still killed me! You jerk. Watch Your Step does not want to play nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not firing. He's not wanting to play. No. Okay, here.
He's just
the berserk,
kind of
the
taking
berserk
his
will help.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think I've had him go into this hallway before. This is actually kind of awkward. I've never seen him do this. I've never seen him go into this center hallway before.
He's just vibing.
He's sniped. All right, you. All right, here. We're gonna do it the safe way then. We're just gonna double laser him out.
Yeah.
Okay. That got way messier than it should have, but we're out. Did I pick up the cells? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. I want those 100 cells. So, not a great level, but it happens with this game. It's tough.
Yeah. 100 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least Spawn Fear. Spawn Fear is thankfully not too difficult a level in this category. It's normally one of the hardest levels, but since we're going out of our way for secrets, this is a pretty chill level.
Yeah. If I can talk real quick about Watch Your Step, what we were talking about with the despawns once Cider Season spawned.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we mentioned a while back that spawn blocking is a plus. We want to do that because anything that doesn't spawn in monster-wise doesn't count towards the total kills. So we don't have to deal with it. That's good. Anything that's already spawned in and gets unspawned, I guess, or despawned, that's pretty much the only instance that it happens. I think there's another like debug thing in Final Outpost. Aside from that, any despawned enemies that you don't kill, they still count, and you can't kill them anymore. So getting 100% kills will be impossible at that point.
I have another donation.
Yes, go ahead.
Varen has given us $5 to say, how does the Slayer open his Christmas presents? He rips and tears them.
Perfect. Thank you, Bard.
That was good. Thank you.
Okay, so this room has a dart trap that we need to activate. That the door for this room is on a timer, so we're gonna activate the dart trap as soon as possible, pick up some other stuff, kill the enemies, and we can get back right as it's opening. So this is like our one downtime break, thankfully, in the later part of the game, because we just get to wait, and it's kind of funny because right here we're just gonna wait for a while. Normally you'll see this pain elemental in the middle. If we were to kill it, it would aggro, it would move out of the way, more of them would start spawning until like the Hell Knight wave shows up. So we're just gonna wait here for another 5 seconds or so.
Yeah, you
And
can't.
now we can kill it.
You can't see it right now, but it's actually spawn blocking feature pain elementals just standing there, which is kind of funny. And yeah, the previous room, as far as like activating that dart trap, once the dart trap is done and that script is done, that's what makes the door open to the next area with that pit. And that's actually something we didn't really talk about. It's really important for max categories, I want to say, as far as just multitasking is concerned. So you saw it in main engineering, like I think that's like level 3 or something. What you want to do is activate scripts that you're going to have to wait on anyway, as soon as you can, if you can have like anything else to do as far as like killing monsters.
What are you doing in here? This Hell Knight's just bumbled into the room. Weird. Okay, so I'm gonna take the backup med kit and armor. We are almost halfway done with the level. This is a very, very long level in this category.
Yeah. One of the longest, if not the longest.
Oh, accidentally used the plasma. Whoops. Didn't want to show that off.
Alright, you got your screen time now.
Yep, no more.
Yep.
Okay, so we just need to survive until there's a hidden megasphere in this cave right here, but there's some shotgunners, so I'm going to prioritize them first. So they're out of the way. Just kind of use the pillars for cover.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got plenty of health, so we can go ahead and just take care of them.
Yeah, if you're low on health coming into this like back courtyard, you can very easily get killed by hit scanners before you get to this megasphere secret. But 80/80 is more than enough, for sure.
Yeah, thankfully there's a couple medkits, which helps that a bit. So we're gonna get rid of this pain elemental here. I didn't think that was actually gonna kill. It looked like it was gonna block it with lost souls. Alright, so there's gonna be 4 pain elementals spawning here, so I'm going to prep the BFG shot. One of them actually didn't spawn. Must have gotten blocked by one of the lost souls that spawned.
Nice.
And then a couple cacos. So thankfully, since this is Watch Me Die Max, we are not using the plasma gun, which is good because if we were to try and use plasma gun here, like we would in other categories, the shots would usually just fly over enemies' heads. That's kind of a weird issue with this game sometimes, since this game doesn't have actual like looking up and down. It's kind of a trick. The game kind of tries to auto-target for you, but it can miss due to that. It's a little funky when it happens.
Yeah. Plus, anything that's like projectile based, like plasma bolts especially, because they're so slow, they can like enemies can move out of the way before that they would hit them.
Alright, so we got a wave of Hell Knights. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, Mike.
It's all right. I was going to say, if there's a moment, I can mention that the charity being supported is Take This. They exist to let people know that it's okay not to be okay. No one is alone in their struggles with mental health, and there's always hope for improvement. So if that sounds like a cause you would like to support, donation links are available in the chat, and there are plenty of incentives to donate for, and lots of bid wars coming up, so by all means, please send us your money.
You might have noticed I was waiting there. That's the reason we didn't kill the imps in the cage at the very beginning of the level, because we actually managed to spawn block a Baron by just letting them walk all the way to that corner right there, which is really nice. So we got just a couple more enemies in here, deal with these Lost Souls and Pit Elementals, and we're going to take the final secret exit in the run. So just have to back out here. I'm going to save, because sometimes we skip this trigger for the secret, and we get really sad.
Yeah.
But we're good right there. So this brings us to the last secret level in the Void, which will have our third and final demon artifact.
Yep. One of my favorite levels for sure.
It's a really neat level because you've got all these like suspended walkways, but it's also very difficult because there are a lot of pain elementals just out in the distance, and they'll start spawning lost souls. So we have some ways to mitigate that.
Oh yeah, this level of lost pain elementals.
Let's see if we can get y'all to fight. So this is an old married couple right here. They're just gonna fight each other for a bit. Okay, there's one pain elemental over to the side. Oh, he already started spawning lost souls. So we're going to use the teleporter here to just kind of reset the lost souls AI so they're not constantly targeting me. Okay, that takes care of all of them, thankfully.
Yes. Hey, you definitely want to take care of pain elementals as soon as possible. They are the top priority.
Yeah, there's actually a reason why we want to take everything out ASAP when we get to it, instead of like waiting off until later. We'll get into that when we go to grab the demon artifact.
Yep. Yeah, just on our way to the blue key here. Oh, they're really close.
Yeah, that's why I go... Wow, that lost souls right there. But yeah, that's why I actually kill the Hell Knight, so I can give them time to kind of group up on the key, which is really nice.
Okay, makes sense. I'm gonna try and cause a bunch of infighting here with the Makebai and the Barons. They're
I
both
think the one
pretty
over
hard.
there is just good.
Yeah. There's Stella.
Heck yeah. Okay, they're all dead, so that's good. Let's grab some bullets for later. Let's see if we can get these to group up. These are a little more finicky. We've thought about trying to get them to, like, move this kill to later, but I always get scared they're going to run down a different hallway and they're going to be, like, nowhere close, so...
Yeah, we still need to like, test out the consistency with it.
Oh, we got the armor. Alright, almost to the end of destroying stuff. There's one last pain elemental to get right here. Alright, so no more pain elementals. Just gonna recharge our health on a soul sphere that's hidden behind there. This is another level that doesn't have official secrets for whatever reason, even though that soul sphere could definitely count as one.
Oh yeah, never really thought about that. Yeah, it says no secrets.
Yeah, even the demon key itself doesn't count as a secret.
Yeah, which is really odd. The other two do. At least the sectors they're in, not the items, but yeah.
Okay, so this is the last Mancubi to kill right here, and now we can go finish the level out. So everything's dead, we're just going to be making our way to the key, but why don't you explain what happens right here when I cross the quake?
Okay, yeah, so the yellow key lowers those bars to let you exit, but once you cross that little archway, you may notice the little quake that happens that raises that switch, which despawns the demon key on that little like pedestal, and it actually spawns it behind the, I believe it's the blue key pedestal,
Yeah.
and it raises it up a little bit. Yeah, so now we have the final key, and what this usually does, once you hit the key, there's a little delay, and then there's like 5 paint elementals that spawn, just scattered throughout the level, and it's a huge pain. Hopefully that's good.
Oh wow, I'm somehow missing a whole bunch of kills. I don't know what happened.
I
I'm
think
glad
they spawned the right one.
Oh,
The right one.
really? Oh, this is actually really bad now.
You want to try building DNA or?
No, I've already gone too far. I have to kill them now. This is actually really bad. I've never had this happen in a run.
I'm sure we'll be fine. You have plenty of bullets.
Oh, there it is. Please die.
Yeah, this is what happens when you don't get to the exit in time. We actually didn't have a way to skip this at first, but thanks to Krytine, another runner, she runs BG Max, the easiest difficulty,
so
but still
bad.
Max.
There it is over there.
We did discover the skill. So if you do make it drop down to the exit in time, then you would get to the exit and scream and bleed out before these pain elementals spawn.
I'm actually amazed that happened. I've never had that happen in a run before.
It is surprisingly tight timing. You do have like just a few seconds of leniency once you hit that switch.
Okay, hopefully that's everything we're gonna save. Nope, there's one there. Hopefully that's gonna be everything, but that puts me down on plasma, which is really bad for the next level. 99, where is it? This is not good.
Oh, wait. The blue key. That room.
No,
I think there's just another pain elemental there.
one. No, that's the one I kill on the way to the key. Oh boy. There's a lost soul roaming around somewhere. It's gotta be somewhere. Oof, I've never had this happen. I'm really scared where it could be.
Yeah, did you revisit the...
I hear it.
Oh.
There it is.
Yeah, that pain elemental. That's the one I usually had to wait on before we discovered that skip.
Oh,
yeah.
Never had that happen before. Well, okay. Alright, I see how it is, game.
That's fine.
I have almost no health and armor going into Spiral here. This is one of the most difficult levels in the run.
Yeah, if you think that level of like pain elementals, oh boy. This is an interesting, like, I guess, short but sweet level.
Okay.
It's basically just one room, full of just a spiral staircase and a bunch of mid-level enemies making this Hell Knights, and then just some imps on the way. The level does fill you up to the brim with rockets. Like, I think there's over 100 rockets easily alone in just this level.
We're gonna need them all.
Yeah. So once you cross that final step, there's like a few pain elementals, a few cacodemons that spawn, and then it opens this door once you hit the switch. And once you cross and get to this top ledge, there's like I don't know, 6 or 7 pain elementals that spawn. It's a lot.
It looks like less of them spawn than normal. I am stuck on an enemy. I'm gonna actually reload that. I got stuck on an enemy. So enemies have infinite height in the Doom engine because there's no true Z-axis. So I got stuck and I just couldn't move, and everybody tackled me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a little better now. So we're just gonna hopefully not get stuck, and we're just gonna rocket our way around everything. We're gonna take a couple passes around the spiral to pick up extra rockets and deal with the enemies. But I am very down on plasma right now. Like, I have almost no cells due to having to play the end of Void like I did. So this is actually really bad. I'm gonna have to improvise on the spot with my ammo. Thankfully, at this point, all I have to do is just make sure I don't get sniped on the side, and we'll be okay. Our health is good, so we should be alright.
Having decent health is kind of important going into the beginning of the next level because there's a bunch of hit scanners. You can very easily just nickel and dime you.
Yeah, thankfully our rocket situation's good. We're almost maxed out, so that helps. Okay. Well, thankfully this level's not too hard coming up, so as long as we can just get out of this opening room, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. This opening room actually locks after you, like, pass through the key door. And you just can't come back, so we need to make sure we get everything here. So I count everything out to make sure that we kill everything, and make sure there's 5 imps on each side. That's good.
Yeah.
And then just a few hit scanners over here with a Cacodemon. There's one Cacodemon on each side. Where's the other cat go? There he is.
I would consider this the start of the end game, I want to say. Let's
Yeah.
break down.
Either, like, breakdown or spiral. One of those two.
Yeah.
I think, like, once you get that last Unmaker key, that's when we'd probably say is a good time for endgame.
And we have someone who has just subscribed to the channel with their Prime subscription. Just a gentle reminder that subscriptions and bit donations during the marathon do also go to Take This, the charity organization the marathon is supporting.
Thank you very much for your sub. Yeah, all subs and bits, like any way you can support, even just getting the word out, is always really appreciated.
Yeah, for sure.
Share the stream, follow the runners. Whatever you can do to boost the visibility of the marathon is much appreciated.
I hope y'all like pinkies, because there's a lot of pinkies in this room.
Yeah.
It's like almost 25 of them. It's ridiculous. They all just come in from those 3 cubby holes. So there's not too much to talk about in this level, but you want to talk about? Do you know about the secret, like the super secret that they planned and never put in?
I think you mentioned it once on stream, but I kind of forget. I don't know the specifics of it myself.
Okay. So apparently, like, in this area with, like, the red brick and such, they were planning some huge secret, and they had, like, a bunch of walls that are actually still tagged in the map editor if you look in the maps. But apparently, they just end up actually doing nothing. So there was definitely something planned, but it's just a mystery what it was actually going to be.
Aside from that, yeah, I really like just how this level is designed and just overall. There's a lot of, like, really interesting bridge crossing and, like, over and under pathways. Really takes advantage of that bridge mechanic with lined up sync floors that we mentioned a while back. I do like how it gives you a BFG weapon right at the end of the level.
Yeah, it does.
Like, kind of useless on an IL, but, you know. Good for the plasma.
Yeah, especially since I'm down on cells, so I definitely don't want to be skipping any of them. I'm trying to... Oh, I missed that secret. I'm wondering if there's anything extra I can pick up for cells. Not in this level. Not in this level.
Nothing's coming to mind that you don't usually pick up. I guess just the one extra cell pack you can, like, key bump in Pitfalls by the blue key.
Yeah, I might go for that. So that'll at least put me back on track a little bit. So we're gonna get this last secret right here with the Soul Sphere. So we're at least set up for Pitfalls, which is the next level, because that level's pretty scary. So taking 200 health into it is really nice.
Yeah, and that's probably, like, it's definitely competing for longest level with Spawn Fear, I want to say.
I think that's about right, judging by in-game times.
Yeah.
Okay, so another set of monster kills to spawn the key here. So the trickiest part in the early section is I'm going to try and aggro. I'm going to make the Arachnotron infight with some not Panelons, with Cacodemons, and hopefully get them to aggro. This is a little sketchy sometimes. Sometimes they don't like to move. That's a good start. Okay, so we got one of them to aggro. That's fine. There's two of them there, but having one aggro is fine. That at least keeps them off my tail and at least gets the Caco out of the way.
Yeah, you definitely... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Cacos love to fly around, so we try and make sure that they die as soon as possible so they're not flying in a place where we forget to check.
Yeah, plus it's kind of important, especially for that little corner secret with the rocket launcher itself, the ZELLLOO with the lit. The infinite height, again, comes into play. The Cacos are going to be floating above you just by the lava, and it's really easy to get, like, chomped in. Caco chomps, they hurt. And they can do it from, you know, whatever height difference. They don't care.
They have really big jaws, you just can't see it.
Yeah.
Alright, a bunch of secrets in this maze right here. And a lot of fighting. So Chain Gun's really nice, just on infantry in general. The rapid fire against infantry is really good just because there's this mechanic called pain chance, where anytime you hit something with something, it has a chance to just kind of flinch and cancel its action or whatever it was doing. And Chain Gun against most enemies in general offers good pain chance.
Yeah. Yeah, every time you hit an enemy, it rolls pain chance, and every enemy has its own, like, pain chance percentage. I think Lost Souls, like, literally they have 100% pain chance. Every single shot or hit you make on them will make them flinch. Which is good, because they are very aggressive otherwise. And then, like, other enemies, they tend to be lower pain chance, like the Hell Knights Barons, for example.
But actually scared. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say, if you're hitting them with, like, a super shotgun, that's 20 pellets and 20 chances to inflict that pain chance. So, like, it's pretty much a guarantee that you'll make them flinch.
Alright, we're gonna see if we can get some infighting going on here. Actually, I'm gonna group all of them up for a nice quick kill. Oh, they died real quick. That was nice. I am low on cells, so I'm just gonna use rockets here. Because I need a bunch of energy for the rush when I grab that invincibility to the side. So we're gonna grab these. We're gonna grab this too. Okay, so there's the 20 energy. Grab this. I have 385. That should be okay. That should be enough cells. So we're gonna make this invincibility last as long as possible. We have a 3-key unmaker now. Not only am I firing really fast, 3 lasers at a time, the individual beams can actually track separate enemies. So we can just abuse that and just go really, really fast as long as we have ammo. Which right now is a bit of a concern, but should be okay.
Yeah, you're seeing just how powerful and how much work that fully powered unmaker does. Like, usually just 8 volleys of 3 shots each is enough alone to take down a bear. Like, literally less than a second in a bear's.
Oh good, that Caco got aggroed by that Arachnotron. That'll keep him off my tail.
I guess the only downside to using the Unmaker so much, especially the full power one, is it is very consumption heavy.
Get some rockets right here. Good.
I think the BFG's a little bit more efficient in terms of, like, saving cells, but it's slower and, like, it's less laser guided, so to speak.
It's very difficult to group strong enemies together to get those efficient kills. So.
Yeah.
Thankfully, almost at the end of the level here. I'm just going to use the super shotgun on these guys. So get rid of this one. There's one Baron we can use the rockets on. And that'll take us to the end of the level.
Yeah. I really do like just, like, talking about the BFG versus the Unmaker. I mean, in general, like the just the efficient, like the options you have rather. Like every weapon has its purpose,
Good.
pretty much.
Okay, there's actually one weapon that we haven't used that we're about to use, and it's great. This is the chainsaw.
Oh yeah. My
We're just gonna
chainsaw's actually. You guys here. Go ahead.
we're gonna slice this guy up. This hitbox is so janky that I kept moving past him and dying. So you'll get to see that again. Don't worry, it's worth it to just cut the spider up.
Oh yeah.
But the chainsaw is actually quite good compared to its PC version because it does double the damage it normally did. And with Arachnotrons, as long as you can actually hit the target, then you actually get a good amount of pain chance.
Yeah, Arachnotrons I believe are 50% pain chance. So like with how fast the chainsaw moves, as long as you're constantly landing hits with the chainsaw on an Arachnotron, it'll never get the chance to actually zap you.
The problem is actually hitting it, because I learned recently from Headshot, our resident tasser, that the Arachnotron hitboxes are rectangles. It's really awkward.
Right. Yeah, Headshot's been really, really crucial in helping out with like just talking about how like strategies and everything. He's done like ZELLLOOO of the tasks of the original game. I think WMD speed, which is just complete levels as fast as you can. It's really a treat to watch. I suggest it fully.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what a TAS is, it's a tool-assisted speedrun. It's where you play a game back in like emulator, do re-records, frame-by-frame advance, and you just basically make as perfect a run as you could possibly make. So it's usually used for just like comparison or showing what's possible, which isn't really possible with this version of the game since this is a recent re-release, but with the original console version, it is a treat to watch, and Headshot's put a lot of work into this game in the last several years, so big shout-outs to him.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, so you need to pay attention to if any Arachnotrons spawn in the back here.
I think they did. Yeah, I see one over there.
Okay. And the reason that's important, unless you have something to say about that.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, the reason that's important, so what usually happens is, once you grab the yellow key, 3 Arachnotrons in the back of the room, sort of spawn in, or at least they attempt to spawn in. Usually, not all of them spawn in, because of just monster positioning and spawn blocking, like we discussed a while back. You would think that spawn blocking all 3 of them is like the best case scenario, but it's actually the worst case scenario, because for whatever reason, I guess scripts are kind of janky, and they like are interconnected in some way that I'm not sure how it works. So if like everything failed to spawn, it'll actually try again. In particular, with this script, once we hit a Gargoyle Statue for a particular secret at the end of the level, yeah, once you hit the Gargoyle Statue, that's when the Arachnotrons spawn in from the yellow cube room, if none spawned before. It's very strange.
Yeah, very. So thankfully we did see at least one spawn in, so that means the script will not try and activate again, which is very good.
Yep.
This is like the only game I can think of that I run that has a case like that. It's weird.
Yeah, it's really unique.
Alright, so we need to shoot this Gargoyle Statue in the distance here. Okay, so we got it. So now we get to do the very satisfying part of this run where we just get to mow down Arachnotrons with the Unmaker.
Oh yeah. This like probably my favorite part of the run. It's like it's very simple. All I have to do, hold down the trigger, PPOation takes care of it.
Alright, so now we have Unholy Temple, which is just a really long set of like fights. There's a lot of scripts based on killing enemies here. Like all 6, I think it's 6 Arachnotrons here all have to die. I was supposed to use the super shotgun there. I'm surprised that other Arachnotron did not try and hit me. So we're just gonna chainsaw them out. Unfortunately, this will be the last time, so say goodbye to the chainsaw after this last Arachnotron over here.
Yeah, It's really something. The chainsaw, I think it's like as fast as doing SSG shots because they take 3 SSG blasts usually, and you know you save shells doing that.
So 6 specters to get this barrier down. And then we have 4 barons up here. And thankfully my cells issue corrected itself over the course of the last few levels. So we can just go ahead and unmake them all out.
That's good. Also nice turn skip.
Oh, did I skip one? I didn't notice.
I'm pretty sure you did. It really doesn't mean anything, but yeah.
What did I skip? I'm trying to think, like, what... Oh, yeah, I skipped the rockets. That's right, there are Revenant rockets that like to shoot from those, but you can skip them if you move like I did, apparently.
Oh yeah, sorry, it means it confusing, but yeah. Yeah, I think this game is kind of based on Doom 2, because it has a lot of the Doom 2 enemies and the super shotgun. But there are some enemies that aren't in here, like the Archvile, Revenants, a couple others, I want to say, Spider Mastermind. The Revenants are here in spirit, though, in the way of turrets, so I think they have the same damage calculation. So we did have to wait. If you were noticing, ZELLLOO's just kind of standing there while the Pinkies were having their wave down here at the bottom. There's 3 waves of Pinkies that spawn. And then after that, there are 4 barons that drop from the sky. And the reason we don't take the Pinkies out right away is because we want the we want the Pinkies to spawn block barons. We usually get 2 of them. That's like a very, very typical scenario.
And we've got one last line def to skip right here.
Yeah, this is probably the most important one. So there's a yellow key in one of the corners of the room. If you try to go for it, just casually, just walking up to it, it'll disappear, a baron will spawn right into your face.
First try,
Probably
nice.
smack you. Nice. And that happens 3 times, a baron in each corner. What this does is, if we don't get the yellow key at its proper position, it'll never activate another script, which locks you out of the castle proper, like this second floor, and it'll also prevent like a wave of cacodemons from spawning that you have to kill to open up the castle again. And there was the I guess switch puzzle. You have to hit the switches in sequence, which, funnily enough, you actually don't need the keys for if you can get there without them. There are 3 different ones scattered throughout. You may have seen them. There's like a sequence of colors. The easiest way to remember is just to start with one color and move them clockwise. And so that opens up different like switches. In this case, like the final room. This is like the only big room as far as like the final 3 switches for the exit are concerned. The other rooms are just like we have to backtrack to find the switches along the tunnel. So that was one of the switches. That was one of 3 gates that lowered. Zero also got a switch, I think, by the blue key. So that was another one. And then the final one is actually literally right next to the exit.
Yeah, thank goodness, too. We don't have to do too much backtracking. We are going to activate these barons. We need to kill 1 to make the stairs actually rise up. So we're going to trigger this script anyways. But thankfully we can just don't have to actually get the yellow keys. So we can just leave once we kill them.
Yeah.
So make sure I have the Unmaker ready for the next level, because the next level is another very scary level. It's the penultimate level.
Yeah, so this one I think is the only level in the main campaign, well, aside from Absolution actually, that once you kill certain enemies, like the Cyber Demons in this case, all 3 of them, that level just ends. There's no like exit, teleporter, or switch proper. Yeah, Watch Me Die, it's a very scary level, especially with ILs, because like you have 1 Cyber Demon just roaming around right at the start, and then at the end you have 2 Cyber Demons. that you have to deal with. And those are the ones that, once you kill, that infillable.
Yeah, they were not very kind to me back in Watch Your Step, so hopefully they're gonna play a little nicer this time.
Yeah, I mean, those two make by on those like rising and lowering pillars. Once you kill those two, it spawns full wave. But since those two on the pillars were already there, we had to kill them. There's no real way to get around this whole spawn, like with the Nightmare Imps and the Rust and something like that.
Alright, so let's get rid of these 3 pain elementals right here. One more secret right here. There's one alive. Where is he? There he is. Bell elementals are surprisingly tanky. Like, if you get really lucky, you can kill them in 2 rockets, but it's usually 3. So they're fairly tanky enemies.
Yeah, I think their health is like right on the edge of just like 2 or 3.
My shot
Kind of
missed the
tough.
switch. Yeah, there's a hidden panel that you shoot in order to open this BFG secret, but since the super shotgun kind of spreads out randomly, it ended up missing the shot.
Yeah.
I have perfect armor, 99 armor right here.
That's great. Yeah, you actually do need to, like, you have to pick up that armor if you want to max this level. Because picking up that armor is actually the activation script for opening up those doors, which reveal the lost souls behind them. So, like, if you have over 100 armor, you have to, like, self-damage in some capacity.
Yeah, just take an acid bath right there.
Yeah.
Alright, it is Cyber Demon time. I have to be very careful because pain chance can mean that they start to fire a rocket, stop, and then immediately fire another one instead, so I have to be on my toes here.
Yeah, using the unmake on these guys is pretty scary because of that.
Alright, and that's 100, so that brings us to the last level. This is the Absolution right here. Oh, I accidentally turned the auto map on. This has a very special gimmick if you want to explain why the demon keys are useful here.
Yeah, so not only do the demon keys power the unmaking to ridiculous proportions, you're going to see 3 switches over here and 3 gates. So normally there's like a huge monster class way out in the distance, away from the map proper, where enemies teleported. They're always there. They're not like those special spawn-ins. And if you activate the switches, which you can only do by getting each demon key, it closes off the gates and basically kills a third of the horde.
Time is coming up. We're going to do it when we reach the end of the screen right here, just to make sure we have 100%. So time is now.
Nice.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, WinDEU. Yeah, the monster closets are really silly because you just activate the switch, it closes off the third of the room that gate is tied to, and just a crusher comes down and it just smashes everything to death.
Yeah, and time, like, the way we time it is actually like, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds before we ZELLLOO called time. The reason we waited is because sometimes the Absolution likes to do some shenanigans where, like, sometimes there's a monster still trapped in the closet even when we hit all the switches. And once the screen bleeds and we see 98, we're just like, that's not actually time, we have to go back, and we have to quick load from the intermission, the epilogue text.
Yeah, it's really bad because you can't skip this at all, so you just sit here very shamed that this game decided to troll you as you waste another 15 seconds to reload your save.
That has happened to me multiple times.
So that is the end of the main run, but the donation incentive was met to play the glitch warp ending, so I'm going to do that. So we're going to use the features menu and just warp back to the lair.
Do you want to commentate this?
Yeah, I got it. So we're going to go to the lair. So this is one of the secret levels that we were in that had one of the demon keys. We're going to finish this in a very interesting way. I'm just going to give myself just some cheats real quick just to make it easy. So there's a Headshot found something very neat a few years back. So we're gonna show that off here. So I'm gonna kill these enemies. There's a pedestal that the blue key shows up on once you've killed all those imps. But we're gonna use that pedestal for some different things. So I'm just gonna get around this imp right over here. We're gonna drag him over. I'm gonna save. So we're going to kill the imp. We're going to raise onto that. We're going to backdash onto the ledge right here. So, through some very precise setups, we're going to try and move around. That's not the correct position, but thankfully I have quick saving. So, we're going to carefully make our way around these edges here. So that's part 1. And then we're going to make our way another spot. I need to go forward very slightly. This is an incredibly difficult setup on this version of the game. That should be okay. And then we're going to use the chain gun as a reference right here. This should be good. Nope, I might not be in the right spot. It's very, very, very finicky. Okay, no. That's okay though. We can set it up. So that looks okay. We're gonna turn. Okay, so now we are behind the castle, which you should not be at. You can see all the nice, pretty mountains and everything. We're just gonna go count these bricks. A 1, a 2, a 3. And, you know, that looks kind of pretty in the distance. What if I could somehow go use that mountain? So I did. So, there is actually a hidden exit trigger way out of bounds. And it's tied to one of the scripts in the level. And due to the way that script actually works, you can see there's actually no text for what the next level would be. So, the game is very... it has its way of, like, avoiding a soft lock by sending you to a certain place. On console, this would actually send you to the credit sequence that we saw after I finished the last level. On this version of the game, it does an even funnier thing. We broke hell so hard, it kicks us back to the main menu.
Yeah. It's so silly.
It is so silly. And this actually is a category. We have a category called Warp where you finish the game using that exit. It's just really funny. Hell was just like, no, you're done. Bye. But I think that's going to do it for me for tonight. So thank you, Valks and staff, for letting me do Doom 64. This was really fun because this is the first time this category has been showcased. So I'm really happy with how most of that went. You have anything you want to say?
Me? Or...
Yeah.
Just thanks for having me on commentary, and thanks to Speedrun Ragnarok for having us.
Yeah. Stay tuned for Kirby Superstar next, and I'm gonna go get some rest. So I will see y'all later.
Yeah, thank you, ZELLLOO. Thank you, WinDEU, for your commentary, and ZELLLOO for your run. ZELLOOO for your run. My apologies for constantly messing that up. And I'm organMike, and that's the end of my hosting duties. I'm going to turn this over to Margaret Ann for host, and I too am going to go home and get some sleep. So thank you to the Valkyries for letting me host, and this has been a pleasure, and thank you for the runs. I will be back, I guess, technically later tonight to race Ultima 4. Thank you very much.